Hello Internet, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon White version. In the last episode, what are you expecting me to say? We beat the game. We defeated N at N's castle, and Getsus at N's castle, and then N took off. We are not the champion, but we're pretty damn close. There's going to be around 25 to 30 episodes of post-game for Pokemon White here. We're not done quite yet. However, the goal of finishing this series by the end of the year is more in reach than it has felt for a while. I don't like mentioning, that kind of stuff because it does date the video, but it's just cool, okay? Things have been looking up. While we're still here on the title screen, I want to introduce that I am now accepting nickname suggestions for Zekrom. While I would prefer something cooler for this one, anything particularly funny is also definitely a possible option. If I don't get any suggestions, then I hope you're ready for it to be nicknamed whatever is the best option on the Name Raider forum. Leave suggestions in the comments, in a tweet at WinterNetLP, or in the Winternet Discord server. Let's get back into the game. It's good to be back for the first time in... I mean, we came here before we fought the Elite Four, so it actually hasn't been that long, but I don't know. I like how you always start back in the bedroom when you're starting after beating the Elite Four in a Pokemon game, and I like that it doesn't change even after the drastic departure from what the ending of a Pokemon game usually is that this game has. I want to go ahead and open up the town map. Yeah, when has anyone ever said that in a Pokemon series? So, we have a lot to see in the Unova region. Almost every area we have been to already in the Unova region has something new to see. In fact, almost literally every area I think does, even if it's only one piece of NPC dialogue that changes. We are going to be taking a trip around the entire Unova region up to Appaloosa City, and then looping around to go to these new areas we've never been to before. Route 11, Village Bridge, Route 12, Lacunosa Town, Route 13, Undella Town, Route 14, White Forest, Route 15, Marvelous Bridge. These are all places we haven't been before that we now have access to, and we are going to be seeing all of it. So, let's leave our room and get started with no further interruptions. Welcome home, White. Seems like you've been through many amazing things, is it not so?
Incredible, really. Amazing, absolutely. Meeting these two Pokémon of legend.
This is...
Oh, I still wear my disguise, pardon. Or rather, let me introduce myself. I am a globe-trotting elite of the International Police. My name... no, I shall inform you of my codename only. My codename, it is Looker. It is how I am called.
I was going for French, but then it turned into Spanish, and I think I'm just gonna go with it.
Behind the scenes of this region of Unova, an organization called Team Plasma conspires. This I have heard, and therefore, to this region I must come, but... Thanks to the gym leaders and to you, yes, Team Plasma's castle has fallen. And the members, they have gone upon their separate ways. This is what I hear, most certainly. But the ones known as the Seven Sages, still, they hide themselves in the Unova region. And so in the end, it explains why I ask this of you, trainer of amazing skill. Travel the Unova region and search it up and search it down for the Seven Sages. Alder, the champion of renown, recommended you to my notice. Are you willing to help me?
Yeah, you're kick-ass, dude.
Excellent, I thank you. Now I feel as if I have perhaps 1 million people on my side. Permit me to give this into your hands.
That's a super rod, right?
Yes, correct. It is certainly a super rod.
Weren't we talking about Team Plasma's Seven Sages? What does this have to do with looking for those people?
I see. It is truly White's mama to ask so. What a magnificent question. I admire it. It is my pleasure to answer. Absolutely nothing.
I see.
Yes, I shall provide the explanation of this, the super rod. First, face the water and employ the rod. Second, concentrate your focal point. When it occurs that these Pokémon bite, exclamation point will indicate. Immediately reel in. For the rest, White, I depend upon you.
Okay. People from the International Police are kind of unique, aren't they? Well, no worries. I think you should just do what you want to do. You're practically a grown-up now. I'm 21 years old. Thank you for finally recognizing it. Sorry for the cut. I had to drink water. That voice was exhausting for Looker. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna go for a French accent because canonically it is most likely that he is from Kalos, which is based on, you know, France. But it ended up going into like a weird mix of German, French, and Spanish, and somehow I still think it fits. So I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not complaining. It works. Hey, White. Is Looker through talking to you? I'm sorry. By the time I went to get the Striaton City gym leaders, everything was over. If that's the case, I let Getsus escape when the Shadow Triad created an opening. Getsus? The Shadow Triad? I'll tell you later about what happened in the castle. It's more important to ask what you plan to do now, Bianca. You know what? I'm gonna go to White Forest. That's the city on the other side of Route 16 when you leave from Nimbasa City. If you go that way, you might be able to meet all sorts of Pokemon you've never seen before. All the accents today, okay. Oh, well, this is nice timing. I see you're all here. Just a moment ago, I got some National Pokédex data from an acquaintance. Since you're here, let's upgrade your Pokédex with the National Pokédex data. I'm sure you'll be visiting a wider range of places. Naturally, that means you'll be encountering more Pokemon. Let me see your Pokédex for a sec. There you go, Bianca. Next up is Charon. And last but not least... you can now switch your Pokédexes to the National Mode Pokédex. Completing the National Pokédex will surely be a big challenge. So take your time, enjoy yourselves, and meet lots of Pokemon. Wow, the National Pokédex. Looks like there are tons of Pokemon I don't know yet. Oh, I want to show Mom and Dad my Pokédex. I gotta go. Let's meet again somewhere, okay? Huh. Bianca's as impetuous as ever, no matter what's going on. I think I'll travel all the way around Unova, starting at Route 1 again. I'm sure I'll discover lots of new things. Could be I'll encounter the 7 Sages along the way. And White, if we spy each other along the way, let's battle again, okay? Alright. We're going to be doing much the same thing as Charon, but first I want to talk to the people around New Vemetown. Not the people outside, because their text hasn't changed from the beginning of the game, but we haven't talked to Bianca's family in a while, or Charon's, and it might be worth talking to him now. I was just looking over my Pokédex again and thinking, I sure have met a lot of different Pokemon. True, we all have. Choosing one thing means having to give up something else, so of course it's very hard to decide. Even if there are many things you want to do, you're only one person. It's frustrating, isn't it? Shocking, isn't it? It is frustrating, though. There's... you know, I understand the struggle of trying to do too many things and falling behind in one thing as a result. Traveling is great. You encounter so many things you... oh, are you saying this? You're saying the same thing from the beginning. Why, White? I hear the professor asked you to complete the Pokédex. Okay, you're saying the same thing too. Nobody's changed! This journey hasn't done anything for it. Well, I guess they weren't on a journey, actually. So, okay. This is the time when most people would probably go to get the Hidden Power TM for Professor Juniper. We'll ever see the Pokédex, because we have seen a few new Pokemon since last time we showed her, but I don't think we're eligible for the last reward yet. Let me see. Oh, you've seen 144 Pokemon in the Unova region. That is an excellent Pokédex. Just a little more and it will be full. Keep up the good work. That is true. We are insanely close to finishing our Pokedex, in terms of seen, at least. We have seen 144 Pokemon and obtained 46, which is not as good. But if we go down to the bottom of the Pokedex, there are 150... Well, you're seeing Pokemon we haven't actually seen yet. Hopefully I'll remember to censor those in post, but there's 156 Pokemon in the Unova Dex, and I believe 151 that aren't, like, event exclusive? No, 152 that aren't event exclusive, but still. We are very close to having seen every Pokemon in the Unova region, and if that's something we can do by the end of this Let's Play, it's something I want to do. Hey, White. So, you're here to show me how your Pokedex is coming along, right? You can show him the Pokedex now. You've caught 50 Pokemon, then. Oh. What? My Pokedex says I've caught 46. Oh, it's counting the national deck, so Raikou, Suicune, Entei, and Celebi are also included. First, you might want to revisit places you've already been. Retrace your steps in the Unova region and see what new Pokemon turn up. He will rate your national dex based on the amount of Pokemon you've caught. I don't know what rewards you get for that, but there are probably some. None that we're going to be seeing. We are very much not going to be worrying about the national Pokedex. Alright, looking at my team, I'm not too worried about what I'm leading with at the moment, obviously, because we're going to be restarting our journey from Route 1. But, I don't know, there's some team members that should probably be in the front more than others, and yeah, I want to set it up in that way. So, it's been a while since we were on Route 1 last. Probably since whenever the last time we had to cross the Sky Arrow Bridge was. There are some new Pokemon we can find here. With the Super Rod, we now have access to like 20 Pokemon that we could not have caught before. And that's just the tip of the iceberg here. I'm gonna go ahead and register the Super Rod. Not because it's something I plan on using a lot, but because the Pokemon I'm gonna be looking for here is a 5% encounter, and yeah. Fishing here is as simple as just pressing the A button when you see an exclamation mark above your trainer's head. Thought I was gonna get it first try, but of course not. Pokemon caught through fishing can be found at levels 15 through 55 on any route. There's no good old or good rods in Pokemon Black and White, it's only the Super Rod. So to make up for that, they just have it give you Pokemon of the levels of everything between 15 and 55, which is, you know, usually what you'd get with an old rod, and then good rod would go up to like 35, and then the Super Rod would go up to like 55. Yeah, I'm gonna cut ahead to when I find the Pokemon I'm actually looking for. This Pokemon is much more common if you use the Super Rod in Rippling Water, so maybe here. Nope, of course not. Can't get that lucky. What do I mean lucky? I got unlucky here. That was a 60% chance to be the Pokemon I'm looking for. And it wasn't. Oh my god, that took forever. Okay. Level 43 too, it's not a bad level. Feebas is the first new encounter we can get through fishing. Feebas learns 3 moves through level up, Splash, Tackle, and Flail. On top of that, the only way you can evolve it is by giving it the Prism Scale, which we don't have yet, and trading it, so if you don't have friends, good luck with that. Feebas isn't really worth considering here, unfortunately. However, 5% of the time in Rippling Water, you can encounter a Milotic, its evolution. Milotic has a shallow move pool, but its stats are great, it's a bulky water type, and it gets a great ability in Marvel Scale. Especially since we have access to the Flame Orb and Toxic Orb all the way back in the Battle Subway. Alright. Please, just... I don't want to throw a Quick Ball, I just want to throw a Dive Ball. I want to have a Water type and a Dive Ball. Work, please. It's worth noting that if you transfer a Feebas with an incredibly high beauty stat from Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum up to Black and White, which is a feature I'll be talking about later in the series, it will still evolve by level up if it had a high beauty stat in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. It's a little interesting quirk where, like, the game still understands that, even though contests are not a system in this game. And that's how Feebas used to evolve before Black and White. Alright. Yeah, I'll give you a nickname, you little creature. Creature. That's its name. Alright. Feebas this is the least rare Feebas has been so far in this series, and it still took me forever to find, and that's a little unfortunate. Okay. So, once a day, on any given route, you will also get a swarm encounter. The route is completely random, but I'm going to be talking about those swarm encounters as we enter and exit any given route. On Route 1, this swarm encounter is Farfetch'd. Farfetch'd and any other swarm encounter can be found at levels 15 to 55, so catch it on the higher end if possible. Farfetch'd has no stat over 65, doesn't evolve, and I love it. It's a garbage Pokemon, yeah, but I love it. I use this in my first ever Pokemon Let's Play. It gets fun moves like Swords Dance, Brave Bird, and starting in this generation, even Night Slash. It's also one of the rare Pokemon that gets access to Acrobatics, but unfortunately, it sort of needs its stick-held item to get good use out of its moves, so Acrobatics isn't a great move for it. It's not good, but it can be fun. I feel like I was more harsh on Farfetch'd than it really deserves there, but I mean, again, I've used it before. It's not, like, impossible to use. There's some games where it's even quite good. If we check the PC now, and go to our boxes, congratulations, more wallpapers were added to commemorate your success. Let's check some of those out. We can go to special now. We now have access to the Reshiram wallpaper, which looks kick-ass. I fucking love that one. Zekrom, which it's fine. Monochrome, which is probably my favorite one, to be completely honest. And Team Plasma, which is based on En's Castle. Who designed this wallpaper? Who else saw the interior of En's Castle? Let's just stick with Reshiram for now, because I'm too lazy to switch it back. I want to say, Stoutland did incredible for the time we had him. He was a team member who I was honestly a little nervous about using just because his nature really was not great. But he did fantastically. Literally, like, so many, like, hard-hitting Giga Impacts, and, like, Strength was a decent enough move coming from him as well. It's just, I don't know. I had a lot of fun using Stoutland. I'm glad Zekrom is on the team now. It definitely fills up some of the type coverage we've been hurting for on the team. For example, electric types, which we had Wild Charge on Stoutland for, and dragon types, which it's just an all-around great type to have access to. But Stoutland did phenomenally, given how stacked against him everything was, including himself. Unfortunately, there is nothing new to see in Accumulatown, so we're just gonna head right out to Route 2. Accumulatown is one of the few towns that has absolutely no changes. Pokemon Outbreak at Route 12. Oh. We probably won't be seeing that today then, that's fine. Route 2. I'm gonna spray Repel. The Swarm encounter on Route 12 is Wynot. Wynot is weird. It evolves at level 15 into Wobbuffet, which has incredible bulk, and it only uses Counter and Mirror Coat. It does get other moves, but those are the ones it's going to use. If its opponent is unable to switch unless it also has Shadow Tag, but still, it's a gimmicky Pokemon that I wouldn't recommend if you're not sure what your opponent is going to do, especially with the AI being as, like, unpredictable as it is in this game. Alright. Before we head on to our next destination, I want to grab Dwebble from the PC. You're going to want a Pokemon that knows Cut and Strength. Alright. There's nothing I want to do in Striaton City at the moment. However, let's head into the Dream Yard. There's nothing to do past that tree that we haven't already done. However, the traffic cone that was here blocking access to this area is now gone. I guess Getsus decided he had to take it with him whenever he escaped from Charon, which we learned about, which is kind of a major plot point that just kind of gets glossed over, huh? I'm gonna spray a repel and head down. Want to battle this scientist here. To research strange Pokemon, having a battle is a good approach. Don't you think? I don't think very often, but sometimes. On a good day, I'll think. Scientist Marcus. Drowsy. Level 63! The trainers here are no joke. Pretty much any trainers you fight in a post-game area are going to have Pokemon above level 60, which is higher leveled than Getsus. I mean, I don't think this guy could have handled Getsus. I think Hydreigon probably bodies this guy's entire team, but, like, why were they all relying on me? There's so many trainers with full teams, like, level 64 plus, and it's just like... I don't know. I think he could have done better than me with my level 48 team, but whatever. I was the one they trusted to deal with it, and I still managed to get it done, so whatever. Future Sight. That's gonna hit hard. It is unevolved, but also it's level 63. I think Wilbur could probably take it, and I don't think Drowsy can really do anything to deal with Wilbur, so that's fine. While I'm fighting the trainers down here, I'm going to go over the Pokemon that we can encounter in the Dream Yard now, in this new area, as well as Striaton City, in the pond area, near the exit of Striaton. Goldeen is a weird Pokemon. So, it and its evolved form Seeking are fast, but the main thing they have going for them is a decent waterfall and access to Horn Drill and Mega Horn. Return and Poison Jab are the only other really good poison move. What? They're the only other really good moves it gets. Not poison moves, just moves in general, which is worse. Same goes for Seeking, as I said. It can be higher level, but you're better off having a Panpour. And that's saying something. In the Dream Yard, we can find Raticate. If it has Guts for an ability, keep in mind Flame and Toxic Orbs are accessible in the Battle Subway. Return will hit for a lot of damage with those active. Super Fang is a fantastic move that reduces the opponent to half health. It gets access to Sucker Punch, Crunch, Wild Charge, and U-Turn, and the biggest negative is that it can't use a lot of special moves it gets very well. You could do much worse than Raticate, though. Venomoth is definitely a Gen 1 Pokemon. It's fine. It's fine with special attacks, it gets Energy Ball and Psychic, but the main attraction is Quiver Dance, which raises speed, special attack, and special defense. Unfortunately, it learns it very late, and there's a better option very, very soon. An overpowered better option, in fact. Ariados sucks. Fuck Ariados. Although Spiderweb is good if you're still looking for Thundurus, but fuck Ariados. Fuck spiders. Fuck Ariados. Ledian sucks, but at least it's not a spider. High special defense and speed, and low everything else, a terrible defensive type, and doesn't even get any good moves. Its special defense is negated by its terrible HP anyways, and if you want to use one for some reason, make sure it has Swarm for the ability. The trainers down here run away from you. Sorry to interrupt me going over the Pokemon, but it's interesting and kind of helpful considering, you know, they have level 60 plus Pokemon. Anyway, there's one last encounter down here. Kricketune is bad, but its Cry is awesome. It uses Swords Dance and X-Scissor. It gets access to Brick Break, which is kind of fun, and Night Slash and Slash, and that'll probably be its final moveset, along with Swords Dance. Its ability is Swarm, which will never be used due to its low stats, and it's so slow that even despite its great move pool, it will never get to attack. Look, Kricketune bad, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can say about it, but hopefully by the end of the episode we'll get to hear its cry, and that's, you know, that's the real selling point of Kricketune. Alright. Getting back into this. Jigglypuff, it knows Wake Up Slap? I get, like, that makes sense given Jigglypuff's whole thing is putting Pokemon to sleep, but I just was not expecting that. Okay. I did activate Hail, so we are getting Ice Body. I think I'm gonna go for Flash Cannon, because even though it's not a Fairy type, it feels correct to use Flash Cannon against Jigglypuff. There we go. Ice Body's restoring a little bit of HP every turn. Now that I'm thinking about it, the leftovers wouldn't be a bad item to give to Strawberry, so you know, we don't have leftovers, but when we do, which will be in the relatively near future, I'm definitely gonna consider that. I don't know why I'm switching. Well, I do, because Musharna would easily eat a Blizzard and then knock out, but now Darunia's gonna be hit by Hail, which is a little unfortunate. I kind of want to go back on the changes I made to Darunia's moveset before the Elite Four. I won't deny that, like, I made some good choices for the Elite Four, but this moveset isn't very good in the post-game, honestly. We're going to be fighting a lot of stronger special attackers, to be completely honest. Most of the trainers I can think of use mostly special attackers, at least off the top of my head. We don't have a lot of boss fights in the post-game. I think there's, like, 8, but still. I don't know, Will-O-Wisp isn't going to be the most helpful. I kind of want Hammer Arm back because Superpower has been somewhat unreliable, and... well, not unreliable, it just hasn't been used a lot. We used it against Ghetsis once. Well, 3 times technically, because I failed the fight 3 times, but still. You know what I mean. This Musharna is annoying. Mostly because it's level 64 probably, but still annoying. You can see that I'm dealing with these level 64 Pokemon, like, just fine. Like, it's still kind of annoying that they're level 64 because they have higher defenses, a lot of HP, and can knock your Pokemon down to half or lower health easily in one hit, but... I mean, they aren't EV trained or anything, it's not like... oh, yeah, you're not gonna run away from me, of course. Ah. If I had known this guy was just gonna attack me on sight, I would have actually healed, but okay. Psychic Rudolph, Starmie. Okay. Of course, you have one of the strongest special attackers in the entire game. Why wouldn't you? And I'm leading with a bad Pokemon to deal with it. I don't know what you're gonna have. Considering you're a Stone evolution, they probably set you to have a moveset of their own design, so you could have anything. You could have Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Psychic, Surf. I just listed a competent moveset for a Starmie and assumed you'd have it, but then you used Rapid Spin, so... okay. You're using Confuse right now, which is slightly more annoying, but... whatever. Okay, not whatever. Zekrom, you can't be hitting yourself like this. This thing could have Ice Beam, I don't think it has Ice Beam considering it's still using Rapid Spin. Does this thing just have the moves it would normally learn at level 65? Because if so, that's unfortunate. Yeah, Swift, really? Do you not even have a same type attack bonus move? Okay, Zekrom, you... look, you did very well against Ghetsis at one point on my second attempt, but like... You're not impressing me here, bud. Fusion Bolt. It's not using Confuse Ray this time. That's good. Okay, at least we hit this time. I'm not confident we'll knock out because Zekrom only has like 30 EVs in its attack stat due to the proteins we used, but... okay, well, I underestimated Zekrom, naturally. That's on brand for me. Wow. Okay. So if you want to know a cheap trick to deal with Wobbuffet, use Toxic. Now it will faint in 8 turns no matter what. Now it's going for counter, which means it probably knows my Zekrom only knows physical moves, and due to its ability Shadow Tag, I can't switch out. So, we're just gonna waste 8 turns chucking Pokeballs at it. Don't be a thief. I'm not trying to. I'm actually just wasting turns so you can knock yourself out with Toxic. Using Pokeballs on trainer Pokemon does waste a turn, but doesn't waste the Pokeball, so if you ever want to just do nothing for a turn, throw a Pokeball. Same goes for wild encounters, but then you have the chance of ending the wild encounter, and you don't get experience for those in this game, so yeah. But as you can see, this Wobbuffet is absolutely helpless. It can't do anything. It has incredibly high HP, so Toxic stalling is genuinely the best way I can think to deal with this. Okay, I think we can go for Shadow Claw now. That should safely knock out. Yep, alright. Your power exceeds my psychic power. I don't think it was power so much as it was, like, I was playing catch with your Wobbuffet, dude. Twisted Spoon down here. This increases the power of psychic type moves by 1.5 times. It feels weird that it took this long to find it, but it is there if you want it. Heading up here, we'll get him in a second. Next to this incinerator, you can find a revive. It's a good item. Good to have.
Boo! Were you surprised? Oh, trainer who destroyed our castle, I was quite surprised by you. If you surprise them, both Pokemon and people leave themselves open. While they're in a state of surprise, they can't use their powers like they normally would. Our intention was to surprise people by making our castle appear and showing off the legendary Pokémon. At the moment, we plan to deeply impress people's hearts with the awesome power of Team Plasma and the brilliance of our new world. Now that I've seen the strength of spirit in you and the gym leaders, I wonder how effective that strategy would have been after all. Maybe that strength of spirit is what's needed to take Pokémon to the next level. I'm sorry to have wasted your time with this silly conversation. Take this with you.
And we'll give you TM75 Swords Dance. Increases attack by 2 stages. Great move.
My Lord End's dream. You were the one who put a stop to that. Please don't ever forget that. Ah, and now about Team Plasma. I am an officer of the International Police, and there are so many things you must tell me at once. Musharna is said to appear here. Its dream mist makes you see dreams, but they are nothing but illusions. The dreams you realize with your own abilities are the real dreams. Accept my thanks. Now Ghetsis notwithstanding, there yet remains but 5 of the 7 stages still at large. What is it they are thinking? What it may be they are hoping? This is the information I pursue. Until we meet again.
Okay. Bye, Looker. I like him. He's fun. Okay. I'm gonna spray a repel. Actually, no. I want to risk running into Kricketune and dying. Oh, it's a single encounter. Please be Kricketune. You had to disappoint me. I mean, I sang high praise of you. You're pretty good as far as Route 1 normal types go, but you're no Kricketune. You don't have a fun cry. Your cry just sounds like a... Sorry if that peaked the mic. I don't know if it will. I'm using a different microphone to record now. This is the microphone I used to use. Because I genuinely think it sounds better, but also the way I'm recording, it's recording to a mono track, and I'm no audio expert. I don't know how that affects the way it sounds, but peaking isn't as much of an issue with this microphone, so it's just a little better in that sense. Like, I can look at my audio readout on OBS and it looks fine, and, you know, that wasn't the case when I was using the microphone I was using before, so yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and heal and grab George into the party now that we don't need Eugene. Heading back into the Dream Yard, if we go down this staircase... Music down here is creepy. Got TM85 Dream Eater. And the Pokemon is not here. Something tells me it has to be nighttime. With the power of Windows system settings, it is now 8 p.m. I'm surprised the game is programmed to handle that. No? I gotta look this up. It turns out it is not the time that was the issue, but the date. It only appears on Fridays. I didn't know it only appeared on Fridays. I thought it appeared every day. Maybe it was just at night, but nope. Fridays, you can encounter this here. You can save if you want, but you already can tell what Pokemon it is, and it doesn't have a particularly low catch rate. I do think I'm going to go ahead and teach Thunder Wave to Zekrom, though. Toxic is a good move to have on a Pokemon, and I'll probably alternate between having Thunder Wave and Toxic depending on the situation. But Thunder Wave is a great move for catching Pokemon, and that's sort of what a lot of our travels are going to be focused on for a little bit. Not necessarily, like, catching Pokemon to fill the Pokedex, but we are going to be going to a lot of places where there are new Pokemon to catch, and Thunder Wave is a great move to have for that. Especially now that we already have an offensive electric type move, and Zekrom is an electric type, it feels safer to have two moves of the same type. Anyway.
Mushar?
Yep.
This is the Musharna that saved Muna all that time ago when Team Plasma was kicking it here in the Dream Yard. This Musharna, if you couldn't have guessed by the fact that it's a field encounter in the middle of the Dream Yard, has its hidden ability, Telepathy. This allows it to avoid allies' attacks automatically in a double or triple battle, such as Surf or Earthquake. This Musharna can be good for the battle subway if you want to do that along with Hilbert, since, you know, he'll Earthquake indiscriminately. But this isn't the most useful hidden ability in the world. It's not bad, but there are more useful ones. Not necessarily that you get access to in this game, because I'm pretty sure every hidden ability we've seen in this game has actually been just okay. And this isn't... To be fair, Telepathy is arguably better than Forewarn, which is its normal ability, but still, I don't know. There's better Pokemon with hidden abilities, and if you're going to be doing the Battle Subway, chances are you're going to be using a hack team anyway, because who's going to put in the time to EV train an entire team in Pokemon Black and White? Anyway. The drowsing... Is drowsing a word? That doesn't seem right, but okay. With the mist from its forehead, it can create shapes of things from dreams it has eaten. I'm not gonna give this one a nickname, I don't think. Alright, let's head back to Striaton City. That's all there is to do down here. And by the way, I am going to be fighting all the trainers here in the Dream Yard off-screen, because we need as much experience as we can get if you couldn't tell by the fact that their Pokemon are in their mid-level 60s. I'm not going to show all the fights because, Jesus, they're going to take forever. Our Musharna has a hardy nature. That's not bad, it's a neutral nature, so nothing particularly bad can really come of that. Strong-willed? I don't know what that means. The trait at the bottom of the status screen tells you what your Pokemon's highest IV is. There'll be an easier way to check this later, so I'm not too worried about it, but... Yep, as you can see, it has a hidden ability Telepathy. It anticipates an ally's attack and dodges it. It's a good ability for doubles, just... I don't know, I prefer abilities that have a more active effect than that, I guess. There's one more thing I want to do before ending off today. Let's head into the Striaton Gym. I think these guys owe us an explanation, other than the one Bianca already gave us, which is just that she didn't get to them on time. In the Unova region, we're still novice gym leaders.
Which means, well, that other gym leaders are much stronger than we are. Going slow and steady is okay, so we compete with one another and get stronger and stronger.
Oh, it's you! Your fire is more intense than when you got the trio badge!
We heard about the incident with En's castle. Why are you the one who talks about it? Why is Silent in the front? If we had received the message in time, the three of us could have helped. Yeah, Cress is the only one who will say anything about it, but they just didn't receive the message in time and couldn't come to help. Which is weird because there were literally 3 empty spaces in the lineup for Silent Chili and Cress, and they just decided not to. Anyways, with that, we have done a lot already. We explored New Vematown, Route 1, Accumula Town, sort of, even though there was nothing to see there, Route 2, and the Dream Yard. And we've also seen everything there is to do on Striaton City, as well as met all the new Pokemon we possibly can at this point in the journey. So, next time on Pokemon White version, we'll be continuing our second trip around Unova. I hope this gave you sort of an idea of the sort of thing we're going to be seeing in the post-game and the pace at which we're going to be going around the Unova region. Trust me, the pace is going to be a little bit turbulent. We're going to be seeing sort of a lot more next time. See you guys then.